I covered, got it. So about the institutions and entrepreneurship, yesterday we saw some notable papers. I intentionally used the industries like craft industries or cultural industries, such as the craft beer and the Quebec cheese and wine, to introduce how cultural heritage rooted in locations or the use of hidden cultural connections can affect the entrepreneurial activities. Also, I introduced the community banks in the United States, but to show how resistance to preserve the community logic can be a driver for entrepreneurial activities. And lastly, we had a case of food trucks, gourmet food trucks, and it shouldn't be gourmet food truck, but any new forms of catering food or selling food can be accepted differently depending on the location and depending on the location's characteristics. It's kind of their cultural open-mindedness that vary by the region. So these were some notable papers we studied yesterday. And today I will focus on the political environment, how the political environment in different locations can affect the entrepreneurial activities. So about the political environment, we can talk about a lot of issues when we say politics or political environment in the global market. I don't know, maybe Praveen have addressed this issue because he's an expert in cross-cultural management, but different locations, religion, beliefs, or culture, or the political system, not just, like the relationship, difference between United States and China, which those two countries have very different political systems. But even among the so-called democratic countries, US and UK are different. US and the continental European countries are different. So these things can affect organizational activities. That's what, global business scholars do a lot of research. I know some of you are majoring in international business or global business, right? Can you raise your hand? I'm not going to ask anything. If you are doing your research on global business, right? Okay, I see some. Well, I will focus more on the politics and the political environment today. So my question is, political competition and success and failure of entrepreneurial activities. If, let's say, there is a region, there are two regions, one with high political competition, let's say two parties or multiple parties compete for the power. And there is another region that, usually one party you always win. So I give you an example here, like regions with high political competition. In South Korea, it's like Seoul. Many districts like Mapogu, Seongdong-gu, many districts of Seoul has high level of political competition between like 민주당 versus, 국민의힘, or 여당 versus 야당, right? To gain the power. In the United States, there are swing states, so-called swing state, like Pennsylvania. Arizona was not a swing state a while ago, but now it became a swing state. And Wisconsin, where I live, it was originally like Democrat type, oriented blue state, but it went to a red state when Trump was in power. And in last, presidential election, it came back to the blue state. So it's a kind of a swing state. There is a political competition between different parties. There are other parties with other regions with low political competition, such as in Korea, Gyeongsangbuk-do or Jeollanam-do. They usually, the candidate from one party usually win the election, right? In the United States, Texas, North Dakota, Oklahoma, these are relatively conservative states. So they are in those states, political competition is low. Also, California is historically blue state, right? So I'm asking whether you have certain entrepreneurial activity or entrepreneurial idea. High political competition is